Alright, today we're fitting oil coolers. So the boat's off getting, or the trailer's off getting galvanised. So I've got a couple other things to do to the vehicle before we go. So what I'm doing, see how well, there, I've got a small gap. Ooh, there we go. In between here, which I'm going to put an oil cooler in. So just to, well, I don't know how much difference it's going to make, but we'll give it a go and see what happens. It's just a small, it's 21 row, something like that. So basically I'm going to try and slot it in right up in there. So it's a pretty good spot. I'm going to move another plate. It's got an air dam sort of thing there, which will push air straight onto it. I'm running AN8-8 fittings on it, which yeah, I think it'll be fine for this. It's not doesn't need massive flow, and it's not stupidly big hose like the 10 is, which I was gonna use, it's actually quite big. So but I'm gonna pull that bar off completely because I've got to fix up a few other things. I'll get a bit more gap in these cables on the intercooler, and some of the intercooler piping I'm not totally happy with, so I'll do a couple things while I'm in there. So I'm attempting to I guess think of everything before I start, because I've only got one car up here, so I've got everything I need in the way. Raceworks fittings and line. I've got the sandwich plate. I'm just going to reuse the oil filter that I've already got because I've only just changed that recently. Yeah, pretty much need to get it done in one hit. So I've got so we've got a car to drive around in. So what I've done to try and prepare a little bit is take photos of basically up in there, so I can try and remember where everything is. Now I'm going to measure clearances that I've got a bit of an idea. I'm going to try and reuse one of these brackets for the intercooler, and then make something else over this end, and then make some bottom brackets down on this cross member. So I'm basically going to try and take photos of everything, measure everything, so once the bar's off I can have the best crack at getting it right the first time. Yeah, let's give it a go and see what happens. Okay, bar's off. I forgot about the antennas for the UHF and the sulfide, which is annoying because it has to do 3 jobs, so I should remember that. And I'm trying not to get away with that pulling them fully out because they're all in behind the radiator. But anyway, we should have enough room. So this is what we're looking at. It's the trouble with only having one car here. I've just noticed these body mounts are pretty cactus, but I car to drive to get more. So yeah, I have to pull this apart again at some stage. So it all looks different without the bar on, which is why you take the photos, but I'm thinking it should be maybe in the center. I basically want to redo all of that wiring, mount the control box better and run the wiring better, because it's pretty crap the way it is. It's it's in the way, and it's sort of just touching on that intercooler. So if I can do that, it'll free up all this space because I can run it. If I can get that wiring right, I should be able to get it in under there through that big hole, and then back up in under here, out of the way. If I can do that, that'll give me that whole space there, which is pretty much perfect. I can probably just make a bracket straight off the intercooler brackets, make one down here as well then on the cross member. So yeah, let's work at that and we'll see what happens. Best news of the day. Lunch call. Okay, so you would have seen that come together. Or montage-y type thing, I suppose. But basically that was that top bracket, so I just, I don't know what you call it, but just made a little bolt on a bracket that you could slide through these holes, pop out exactly where I needed it. It's a pretty common thing that manufacturers do, like for bull bars and other vehicle accessories. You need to sort of bolt on through factory holes, so like aftermarket stuff, I suppose. So you know, that way you can get a bolt exactly where it needs to be. Actually, yes, right there, that's the same principle. So it's basically a plate inside here that you feed through, so puts it where you need to be. So I basically just copied that, which, yeah, it's a high tensile and a bit of 3mm steel, so it's plenty strong enough for what we're doing. Then I just bent it over to pick up those two holes. So that's that side done. I've just bolted that one to the existing bracket. I had this work done a little while ago. I won't say who it's by because it's pretty rubbish, and I'm fairly sure that that is just a tech screw. So yeah, I'm probably going to do the same thing I just did. Just take that out and just do a you know, bolt on a bit of steel like I've just done, and replace that, make that a bit more legit. Yeah, I may even put another bracket on. Yeah, it feels pretty good. I might just leave it. So now at this stage, I'm going to put the bar back on and just make sure that position is going to work. I think it will, based on my photos and measurements. I think that'll be fine. But just to a test fit to make absolutely certain. Once I'm happy with that, then I'll probably do pretty much exactly the same thing down the bottom. Just a right angle bracket up off here or off there, and pick up those. I'll put a bit of rubber and stuff in between them just so they've got a bit of movement should they need it. But yeah, I've got to relocate all that wiring in the control box, which I'll do now, and then chuck it back on with some fittings, check for clearances, make the bottom brackets, yeah, piece. So alright, so I got the winch out, and I've got the control box off, which is how I had it mounted, which was pretty shit house really, looking back at it. So 4 bolt through there, which was, I mean, it was fine, it was just a pain to get them off. You pretty much have to take the bar off and take the winch out just to get the control box off, which is, yeah, crap, like I said. So you can buy from ARB brackets for these bars, which just pick up these 2 holes, pop up on an angle, control box bolts on there. I have seen it's a lot easier to do it that way. I've seen them break before many times now. So what I'm going to do is just make 2 plates that are bolt on here, and then basically just a V between them, and that'll put the control box. Sort of. Ooh, yeah. Oh, can't really tell, but sitting up there on a 45 basically. Which is definitely more complicated than it needs to be, but shouldn't be too bad, shouldn't take me too long. I think that's going to be the best way to sit it up, which will give me room to get the cables back down into that hole and out from behind the bar. Alright, so the first test fit's complete. Bars back on, control boxes relocated, well, slightly moved. So it's basically achieved exactly what I wanted it to, which is more around between the intercooler and the cables, so nothing's touching anymore, which is good. So this is worked out very well. There's not much clearance at all, but there's still some. That's all that matters. Yeah, that actually fits pretty well in there. I'm pretty happy with it. I'll just make the other brackets now off onto the cross member, and that'll be all sorted around the lines. I think it'll work pretty well because it's probably going to move the number plate from where it was, move it off to the side so it doesn't block any airflow, but the bar's got these big air dams right here which, as you can see, just funnel straight into it, so I think it should work out pretty well. Alright, take it back off. At last, great success. That was a bit bigger of a job than I at first thought, mostly because I had to go back into town because I didn't get enough bloody hose. So all the different colours, that was the only option. Supplies are pretty low in this place, so yeah, I was literally about 200ml short of where I need to be with the silver stuff, so I had to go back in and get a run of that. And this is the only colour we got, so it was a pain, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's, yeah, I think it'll be alright. It's solid as. Yeah, she's just a bit of a bloody rainbow effect, but can't put them all. It's good. The lines are fairly short, not too many bends, which I suppose is good for flow and that. We go. You can probably see down there I've got some nice bloody red and blue, but like I say, so that's the only option we had, and that was just to the point where old mate was going to send me to another shop, and I was like, no, I'm just going to get it done. I haven't got time for this. So yeah, I think it'll be right. I'm just going to do a couple of things while I got a bit of shit off here, and then I'll yeah, start it up. Make sure nothing leaks, and we'll put the bar back on and give it a test run.
Oh, you unplugged this in the end?
Yeah, I did actually off the car.
Do you want to plug it back in before you stick it on?
No, I'll put the bar on first.
Okay.
You might be on that, yeah.
I just can't lift it. Got it?
Thanks for watching. Shane completed this work to the car whilst our custom off-road boat camper trailer was off being galvanised. If you'd be interested in seeing that build, click the link below. If you've already watched the boat camper build and just want to see what we get up to next, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell to make sure you get notified whenever we list a new video. However, we do list them weekly, so we will see you next Friday.